Let's talk about the course information, starting with course instructor, which of course is me. My name is Jim Shan. I'm a principal solution architect in a cloud service company. And I took a bunch of cloud certifications across three major clouds. I have a solution architect for from AWS, Microsoft, Google, and I also have a data engineering, data analytics certification for AWS, Microsoft, and Google. And I'm also the subject matter expert for AWS professional and specialty. Also, I have certifications, data certifications from Snowflake and Databricks. Now, getting into course itself. This course has 11 weeks for each semester, starting with introduction. Then we talk about compute, storage, database, NoSQL database, and this is the first half. First half we talked about the Azure components, the IaaS and the PaaS environment. Starting at week 6, we will have a midterm and we will introduce the final project. In the next few weeks, we will talk about different aspects of an Azure data engineering platform. For each one, we will have one step moving forward for the final project. So the first half talk about general Azure compute and the storage. The second half talk about data specific service. And finally, at week 11, we have final project presentation. We will introduce final project in week 6 and have the final presentation at week 11. Between these 2 weeks, there are like 4 or 5 weeks is when you will start working on the final project. Each week we introduce a new concept. You will implement that concept, that service into your final project. This class is taught through a remote learning session with instructor-led sessions during fixed times. Each session consists of lectures and labs that must be completed and submitted on time, followed by assignment that must be completed and submitted on time. This format will provide you with the flexibility of virtual learning and the discipline of instructor-led learning, because one thing we do notice with virtual learning is that students generally lack of discipline. We hope that by following a certain session and following set deadlines for labs and lecture and assignments, this will provide you with some uh, discipline for better study. For each class is about slightly more than 3 hours, 3.5 hours. From 6 to 9, we have a lecture, we have a lab, hands-on lab. Labs are hands-on, right? And the labs, for each lab, you must click on the submit button. You must click on the submit button, and we will emphasize this again and again, including the assignment. And you need to share your screen to show your progress in the lab. And the assignment will be uh, you need to complete the assignment after class. Week 6, of course, has a less instruction, the midterm exam, and week 11 is a project presentation. Lab assignments course is designed to have this learning circle, starting with lecture, followed by lab in the same class, and followed by assignment until midterm and final. Labs are designed to get you familiar with basic technology. Well, it's going to be focusing on one or two aspects that you need to put your hands on. Then assignments are deeper dives for labs. So I would suggest you to start working on them, especially assignment ASAP. Don't wait until before the next class to start working on those. The class grade, attendance or participation, it's actually participation, 20 points. So it's a 2 points, 2 points per participation, per class of participation. That's a week 1 to week 10. Labs, 9 labs, 18 points, 2 for each. Assignments, 9 assignments, 2 for each. Midterm, 24 points, and the final project, 20 points. Late submission, multiple submissions allowed with proper written request prior to submission. prior to deadline. There's no makeup for participation, attendance, midterm, and the final project. So you are allowed to submit lab assignment late. But in order to do that, you have to write me an email clearly stating that you will miss the deadline. If you have to miss a class, you must send a written request, which is email. Class participation means more than a Zoom attendance. You must actively participate in the discussion labs, answer questions, and when I ask you to share your screen, you need to share your screen to show your progress. For assignments and lab, you must hit a submit button. It doesn't matter when you start it. It only matters when you submit it. Otherwise, there's no grade. If you need extension in time, you need to send the written request through email. Otherwise, no grade, no makeup. Again, if you will pass deadline, you must send the written request. Request sent over Zoom chat do not count. Verbal requests do not count. For any technical difficulty, you must send the written explanation before the deadline too. When you do your lab, when you do your assignment, you encounter issues, technology issues, write the email to me right there, right then, before the deadline. Otherwise, it will not count. And that's another reason that you need to do the lab and the assignment as soon as possible instead of waiting last minute before class. Okay. Attendance, you must show up at 6 p.m. You can make it, email me. Participate in lectures. Be ready to share your work, your screen. Complete labs and assignment before next class. All deadlines are starting of next class. Deadlines are starting of next class. Again, labs and assignment. Take midterm and final presentation on time. Believe it or not, there are someone who does not come for midterm or final presentation, and inevitably they get 0 for that. Again, written requests with justified reason for exception, and no makeup for attendance, midterm, and final without proper written request. Okay, all course materials are posted on Blackboard. Lecture recording video, labs, assignments, sample file. There's no textbook to this class because everything we are teaching is at the cutting edge. There's really no textbook. Even if there are books about it, they are outdated. The best reference you can get is from official Microsoft website, azure.microsoft.com, learn.microsoft.com. And the other thing you can utilize, and you should utilize a lot, is internet. You can use Google, and yes, you are allowed to use ChatGPT. In fact, I encourage you to use ChatGPT, but don't get caught. If you use ChatGPT, you must at least understand what you're asking and what it's answering. If you are caught like posting answers that makes no sense, don't blame me for giving you 0. And the reason I want to encourage you for using of a Google, ChatGPT, or any AI machine learning service is because this is a data science class, data engineering class. We are not afraid of utilizing latest technology, right? In fact, these are key skills to use cloud computing in real world. You need to go because a lot of times there's no fixed answer. Things are changing so fast right now. So you need to find the latest information yourself. And eventually, when you are at work, your boss is asking you to do something. It doesn't matter where you get your answer, either through ChatGPT or Google or whatever. As long as you can find the answer, that's fine. And if your boss doesn't care, I wouldn't either, right? So you are encouraged to use them, but don't make mistakes. Don't let me catch you. Additional help needed? Email me. This is my email address. But the one thing I want to note is there are people like send me a request saying, "Hey, professor, are you available at a certain time?" And unfortunately, I'm not available. I replied saying that how about sometime, and he or she is not available, and the email goes back and forth, and quickly time elapsed. So when you contact me, if you need to have a discussion, send me an email with 3 to 4 time slots that works for you. I will pick up one and set up a Zoom session. And then school policies, right? So first one is the instructional continuity plan. This course will be conducted continuously online, even if St. Peter's University closes campus, because this basically is a remote class, so it doesn't matter whether they have their campus open or not. Then students with special needs require special accommodation should present appropriate paperwork after having their accommodation determined by the academic dean's office. Similarly, this is also applicable. This is not only with the special needs. This can be extended, applicable to financial issues, visa issues, any issue that's out of the scope of this class. If you have financial issue, if you have visa issue, if you have any issue, family issue, talk to the academic dean's office, have a written approval from them. I will be more than glad to help. Title 9 compliance. In the event that you choose to write or speak about having survived sexualized violence, including rape, sexual assault, dating violence, domestic violence, or stalking, St. Peter's University policies require that, as your instructor, I share this information with Title 9 coordinator Elena Serra. Elena or a trained member of her team will contact you to let you know about supporting services and the St. Peter's as well as options for holding accountable the person who harms you. Whereas you are not required to speak with them, they will share resources with you. And finally, academic conduct. In order to maintain academic integrity at St. Peter's University, now this is a long one, I'm not going to read through it, but the most importantly, do not cheat. If I caught you cheat, if you caught anybody cheating, very commonly is one person copying for another person's code. I wouldn't be able to tell who copied who. Sometimes I will be able, but I don't care. I will give both 0 grades. Okay. So I think this is clear enough. You are grown up, and believe most of you are in your final semester because this is a DS684. This is one of the largest number in course numbers, right? So most likely you guys are in your final semester, and you are here taking this class because this is a very useful this skill, and you are very likely run into job interviews regarding cloud computing, data engineering in Azure or similar cloud services. So make sure you understand why you are here, and make sure you study the right way. Okay.